How fast can you get banned from IKEA? Ready, set, go.
Krishna, not again.
I pulled the fire alarm and quickly everyone left the store except for a few workers and security. So I decided to start playing hide and seek with them. But I wasn't gonna move because as night came down and everyone left, I began eating all the food in the cafeteria for completely free and even found a really cozy spot to sleep. But as soon as the next day came, a bunch of police officers entered the building looking for me. I hit a little speaker in the corner and started blasting brain rot audios. And when I thought the coast was clear, I walked out. They grabbed me and told me I'm never allowed again. It gets so much worse right here.
Krishna, that low-key hurt.
Oh my God, let me check the damage. Oh my God.
He's driving away.
Oh my he's actually taking it. What a So someone hit my car and decided to run, so I went in for the ultimate revenge. Is him. Get his plate, what's his license plate? I called the cops, and apart from getting me this CCTV footage, they were literally useless and just told me to go call my insurance. But of course, I ain't no so I took things into my own hands.
So I tracked down the license plate. He literally lives 10 minutes away.
We pulled up to the crib, immediately saw his car.
Yep, alright, this is his car. So as you guys know, my car's totaled now, can't drive. So we're gonna steal this thing. Quickly just connect with the signal that's kind of in his house. There we go.
I might just give away the car, so subscribe. I snuck into a movie theater to see how long I could stay before I got kicked out. As soon as the movie ended, everyone started leaving, except me, and I hid behind the chairs at the very top. It's 1:53 a.m., nothing's playing. This is crazy. I stayed for 2 hours, and eventually the cleaners came in, so I just kept it quiet, and after 15 minutes they left, and I even checked on the movie theater, and you cannot trust the cleaners. But as the night came, everything was shut down. At 3 a.m., I walked out and realized I was completely locked in and was stuck. So I moved to a different theater with bigger seats and just laid down to go sleep. Until at 7 a.m., a security guard walked up and just flashed a flashlight at me and woke me up and kicked me out. I do sneakier things here. If you're scared of heights, stop watching because I'm in the tallest tower in the world and I'm gonna jump on the glass and slam against the glass to see if I can break it. First, I went up the elevator to Canada's beautiful CN Tower, and the elevator was going at like 30 miles an hour, and looking down was horrifying. It felt like I was gonna fall like any second. Once I got to the top, I took a quick tour and then got to work. Of course, me just jumping up and down wasn't gonna do anything other than make people around me think that I'm crazy. But when me and my friends did it, yeah, nothing happened. So we devised a genius plan. If we combine the surface area to smaller, we should have the better chance of breaking the glass since it's so big. So we started running and slamming into the side of the wall and pushing, and after enough tries and feeling the glass wobble, it broke.
TikToker Krishna Sahay responsible for a meteor hitting CN Tower.
People astonished with CN Tower's glass breaking.
We need Krishna behind bars immediately.
If you wish you were Krishna Sahay, subscribe.
Yo, what is wrong with these people? Yo, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Yeah, what's going on?
What is this, bro?
Oh, no, we're just recording for our, we're just recording. It's like because this is gonna be my new pet, you know, so we're just trying to.
New pet, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah.
You gonna run me the 400?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, can we do 300? I'm kind of on a...
Dude, you know how rare this stuff is?
Okay, sorry.
If you don't want it, bro, I'm gonna use it myself.
What do you mean use it? Okay, you got Cash App?
Yeah.
Actually, before I send it though, can I open it real quick?
Dude, do you know what this stuff is? If you get caught with this stuff around you, dude, you're getting in big trouble.
Is that why you have all the blue stuff around?
Yes, dude. Thank God you're wearing the gloves. You did not want to be touching that, okay?
Okay.
And if it starts sweating, don't lick it, okay?
Oh, I'm not gonna. Why would?
Lick it.
All right, I sent it. It's definitely in there. All right.
There.
Okay. Appreciate it.
How many times do you have to prank call 911 to actually get arrested? Let's find out. So for the first prank call, I was gonna complain about girls.
All these girls want guys that are 6 feet. I only have 2.
We weren't in any trouble yet though, so we kept on calling. With the second prank call, we were gonna actually tell them a really funny joke.
Hey, I'm really sorry. I have to turn myself in. I opened a door for a grandma.
No, and she flew out of the plane.
At this point, you could tell they were really pissed off and consequences were coming soon, but we weren't arrested yet, so we kept on going. This time, we told them a pretty complex joke to see how smart the police really were.
Are you having an emergency?
I just ordered a plate of liver and onions, and I only got the onions.
Teacher, you've called this line 3 times. This time the joke doesn't even make sense. How is it?
Get it? Because they delivered it?
There will be consequences.
So at this point, I was extremely worried. Minutes later, we checked out our window and realized that we were absolutely fucked. If you've never prank called 911, subscribe.
How many people can jump in an elevator at the same time before it crashes? Let's find out. It started with just me jumping and nothing really happened. I could feel a little bit of movement, but the elevator was fine. And even though it did move a little, the elevator's maximum weight is 1,500 pounds. So if like 500 pounds worth of people jump, hypothetically, it should break. We then went on to 2 people. And we could actually feel it shake a lot more this time, but it still held on really well. When we did 3 people though, now we were entering kind of a risky zone. When we all jumped at the same time, we could actually feel it drop a little bit, but once again, it held on really well. But then it was time for 5 people. Even though we completely destroyed the elevator, it wasn't over really.
Over $560,000 in damages liable after TikToker Krishna Sahay destroys.
Krishna Sahay claims to be daddy's money and has all damages and bail paid.
If you think I deserve a punishment, subscribe.
A TikToker has just escaped prison and a death penalty for crashing a plane after his friend had a smoke bomb up his ass and blinded the guards. The man who got away social media star Krishna Sahay is now on the run.
How long can you keep driving after your car says it's empty on gas?
Okay, the fuel light is already on all the way over there and the gas is super low, but we're gonna keep going and I'm gonna set a timer to see how long we can keep going. Now the car is kind of making some weird noises and shaking and the AC completely stopped working. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. I'm sweating because of the no AC and it officially has no miles left, but clearly not because the car is still driving. Okay, it's officially been 56 minutes and we have a check engine light right now and it is not looking good at all, guys, but I'm gonna do something crazy risky. We're gonna go and try and get some Starbucks. If I just stall in the middle of the line, I'm gonna look like such a clown. All right, we got our order, but now it's time to keep driving and I'm getting scared. Okay, guys, we're about to do something insane. Even though we've been going without gas for over an hour now, we're gonna go on the highway and take a huge risk.
Krishna, I think you're just asking to get stranded at this point.
I hope we don't.
Yo, oh my gosh.
Okay, after 1 hour and 45 minutes, we're officially stranded on the side of the highway.
And yeah, I had to pour gas into it in the middle of the highway. How long can you eat at an all-you-can-eat buffet before they kick you out? See, usually you're supposed to be able to eat as much as you want, but I know for a fact if you just keep eating more and more and more and more for hours and hours, they're gonna say something. So I walked into the buffet, immediately started grabbing a bunch of plates of food and ate all of it, and then went back again, got even more food and ate all of it again, and then did it again. And at this point, the worker came up to us and she's like, yo, like, you guys done? We were like, absolutely not. We don't care that it's been 3 hours. We're gonna keep going. So we kept on grabbing more food, more plates. And by the time 5 hours had passed, we had like 8 plates on the joint. And I was so full at this point that I couldn't finish more food. So I started just stuffing it in a backpack and literally tossing the food in there. And finally, after 7 hours, they told us that we gotta go. But we told them, yo, no, we're still eating. We're still eating. And that's when they pointed out the bag with the food in it and told us, yeah, you're banned. I do something dumber right here.
A favor to me by bringing this pizza? What is nonsense?
Starting with being a Domino's pizza delivery driver. Except I'm probably not going to be delivering any pizzas because to get fired as fast as possible, I'm going to be eating as much pizza as possible. Let's go deliver this pizza. This time though, before we deliver it, I'm going to go eat a slice. Yeah, hungry? I'm really hungry. I'm honestly really nervous. The guy might be really mad. If this doesn't get us fired though, Domino's, you're not doing your job properly. I'm going to ring the doorbell, guys. They have dogs. Hello, sir. Delivery for Michael? Yes, thank you. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, you can just make sure everything's good on the pizza.
What? Who ate this pizza? I was expecting a full pizza. How did you burn this type of pizza that is half eaten?
Listen, I'm so sorry. I was just really hungry on the way here.
After the world's most dangerous man escaped American custody, President Joe Biden made this statement.
I will make sure to find Krishna Sahay.
However, Krishna Sahay doesn't seem to give a flying because he responded saying,
Joe, you can't even find your way while walking. How the
fuck are you gonna find me? How long can you secretly live in Costco before getting kicked out? I walked in 10 minutes before it closed and immediately started messing around and looking for good hiding spots before I decided on this area behind the TVs, and this was super good. No one knew I was there, and I was chilling there for a few hours and even just played some chicken because I had nothing to do when I fell asleep and realized I woke up in the middle of the night and the store was completely empty. So obviously I got hungry, went and grabbed some snacks, ate them, but when I went back to hide in my spot, the worst happened.
You gotta go. What are you doing here?
I'm just chilling.
There's no chilling back here, dog. Get the out.
Security got me and banned me from ever coming back. How long can you hide in Home Depot before you get kicked out? When I got there, I immediately climbed this really tall thing and then started yelling for help so everyone knew a lunatic was in the store. And then I started hiding in different spots and even playing some block blast, just trying to up my high score. I mean, look at these combos. But then I decided on this hiding spot and it was so good. The managers and workers were walking by, not even realizing I was in there. But to troll them even more, I got out of the hiding spot, started walking around when they sounded some alarms, and eventually got an employee to grab me, take me to the back, talk to me, and then kick me out. But I don't care. Even while getting kicked out, look at me. I was just getting those combos and having a blast playing block blast. Try it now. How long can you live in Home Depot before you get caught? I came in right before it closed and started looking for hiding spots. So I decided to hide behind the refrigerators, and this was working for a really long time, but it was really dirty back there and the employees were walking back and forth, so it was really high risk. So I had to make a run for the storage containers and I hid inside one of them for a minute, but that's when I heard an employee locking it up. At this point, I started freaking out because I was stuck in there. I was kicking and banging and it literally would not let me out. And that's when an employee heard me, opened it up, and now I'm in a lot of trouble. I do something way dumber here. I'm gonna hide in a closet in IKEA and then snitch on myself. As soon as I walked in, we immediately started looking for the hiding spot. And as soon as we got there, I called IKEA and told them
this is IKEA curbside pickup.
I just wanted to report someone hiding in one of your closets.
Hey sir, we don't take prank calls.
No, this isn't a prank call. Someone's literally hiding in your closet.
Don't call us back, sir.
Bro, what?
And for some reason, they didn't believe me, so I called them back.
Sir, I told you to stop calling.
It's not a prank call though. Someone's literally hiding in your closet, buddy. Just send someone. Just send someone.
Okay, I'll send somebody.
And after finally waiting for 20 minutes after the call, this happened. And now I'm definitely not allowed back in there, but watch this. I found a way to legally steal any Lego set, and it's actually easy. First, you want to go to your nearest Target and pick any Lego set, and once you've decided on one, just grab all of the ones that they have and pay for all of them. I know this seems a little crazy, but just trust me, it all works out. Also, make sure to keep that receipt. It's important. Next, you want to walk outside and start opening all of the boxes, and out of each one, take out one pack of the Lego set, and then just seal all of them back up like they were never open. And just keep the packs that you took out safe. These are for you. Then you want to go to the returns and exchanges section and just tell them that your brother had a birthday party, but he died, so you don't need the Lego sets anymore. And they'll just do a quick shake test to make sure everything's in there and just give you a full refund. And just like that, you have your own Lego set from the bags you took out of each one. I do something crazier here. Emulating. Okay, I think it's Let me explain, it's not what it looks like. So I was going to random hotels looking for a place to stay because if you're under 18, it's really hard to find a hotel that just lets you slip. But that's when I realized if I use my Flipper Zero hacking device, I could copy the master key they have and then get access to every room in the hotel and choose the best one. So after going to a few hotels, I found one where the key was just left on the side at the desk. And that's when I strike. I quickly copied the key onto the Flipper Zero and tried getting into a basic room, and it worked perfectly. But eventually we made a pretty big mistake when we knocked on someone's door and said, FBI, open up. FBI, open up. We got kicked out, but this didn't stop.
TikToker Krishna Sahay has been caught again after hacking access to hundreds of hotel rooms.
Dozens of couples suing over privacy concerns against Krishna Sahay.
I still got to enjoy the sweet though, so subscribe.
This man was such a threat to Putin and top Russian officials that they poisoned him on a plane. But how did this all happen? Alex Navalny is an activist that's made numerous videos on Russia's corruption. Officials in Russia obviously didn't like this, and they did the unthinkable. One day, Russian spies snuck into his hotel room and put a substance on the outer lining of his underwear. On his flight to Moscow, he started having seizures. After an emergency landing at a nearby airport, he was soon escorted to a hospital in Berlin. And there they found something that they never thought they'd ever see. The poison used on Alex, a Novichok that was developed in the 1970s by the Soviet Union, only used by the government, and was one of the deadliest poisons of all time.
So there's been these thieves that have been stealing every single one of my packages, as well as a bunch of the neighbors. So I decided to plan something devious into one of the packages to take things into my own hands. For legal reasons, we're gonna have to blur out some of the stuff, but let's just say it's explosives with a countdown timer. And sure enough, just a couple days later, the goons took the bait. They took the bait. They took the bait. Followed them for a decent distance and waited for the perfect time to strike. Oh shit. I think I took it too far. Subscribe. Robbed in Russia my first day there, and I wasn't allowed to talk about it until now because the guy who did it is really well known, but today I'm finally dropping the name. So on March 29th of 2023, I took a flight, and of course we were playing Block Blast while we were on the plane. But I can't lie to you, Moscow was a beautiful city. There were tons of baddies, but at night I made a big mistake walking down this one alleyway, and there was even a guy who told me not to go down it, and then 5 minutes later, this happened. No English.
Empty your pockets, sir. Empty your pockets.
We called the Russian police, but before they even did anything, we actually found him.
Yo, you're the guy that robbed me. The cops are on the way.
No, right now, bro. I'm about to be by high school on Block Blast.
Wait, what are you talking about? What? You're like 70 away. Wait, let me play. Bro, what? This game's actually so much fun to play. You literally match up the blocks and get these combos. You're gonna have a blast playing this. Live, laugh, love, and play Block Blast now.
How long can you leave your house with an ankle monitor on? See, I'm on house arrest for pretending to steal, and now every time I walk 2 feet out of my apartment, it just starts beeping like absolutely crazy. So I decided to test my luck on how quick I'd get caught if I just went to a Chick-fil-A nearby and hid inside. And since it was beeping so loud, everyone was looking at me like I was an absolute maniac. And I thought everything was gonna be okay until I saw the police literally right outside coming up to the Chick-fil-A. And when they finally looked away for a second, I made a run to my car, but as soon as I drove off, the cops had already lit me up and got me arrested. But I do something dumber here. How long can you go without taking a shower? Day 1 was completely normal, but by the end of day 2, I was definitely feeling a little bit sticky. But this continued to day 4 when I noticed my armpits were starting to really stink. And strangers in public were actively avoiding me as well. But by day 6, my girlfriend literally wouldn't even let me sleep in the bed with her because of my stench.
You stink.
So I had to sleep on the couch. And everything continued to get worse, but on day 9, my doctor told me I had multiple infections and I had to go shower immediately. But obviously, I wasn't ending the challenge for you guys, but by day 14, I was so itchy and in literal pain, so I had to end it. I do crazier challenges here.
So today I woke up and felt like going outside, so I checked the weather and realized Texas is a literal oven. So I needed to find a way to cool myself up as much as possible before going out. So the first thing I tried was my freezer, and I couldn't fit in, and the only other way I was getting in was by cutting myself up into pieces, and I'm only 16 and have a whole life ahead of me, so that was a no-no. So I searched up places with freezers, and the first result was Lowe's. So I booked an Uber straight to the destination and went looking straight away. Then I got carried away because they had this bed out in the open. It was actually carpets. I'm dumb. Please subscribe so I can get brain cells. But finally, I found the freezer I needed. I hopped in, then realized I made a big mistake. I can't get out. I was stuck and started breathing heavily and freaking out. And while I was knocking as hard as possible, by the grace of God, a man came to save me, and the clip of it is on my Insta at Soren Lamau, so follow there.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna hide inside the freezer at Lowe's, then call the store and snitch on myself to see if they do anything. I hopped inside and immediately called them.
This is Lowe's curbside delivery. How can I help you?
I think there's someone living in your refrigerator.
Is this a prank call? Don't call back again.
No, someone living here. What the? They hung up.
And at this point, they didn't think I was serious at all, even though I was literally hiding there. So I called them again and told them to find me.
Hello?
Hey, I am living in your refrigerator. Please come check on me.
Stop calling us with your prank call.
No,
Lowe's curbside.
I'm here.
But even after the second call, it took a whole 25 minutes before they finally did this.
I'm in the fridge. I'm in the fridge.
What are you doing here?
But now I'm kicked out, but I do something dumber right here. I'm gonna hide in the toilet paper aisle at Walmart and then call the store and snitch on myself to see if they do anything. I went inside and immediately called them.
Hello, this is Walmart customer service. Is this for curbside pickup?
It's not. There's someone living in your toilet paper aisle right now.
Sir, we do not take prank calls.
No, it's not a prank call. Someone's in. Oh, she hung up on me. And at this point, they didn't think I was serious, even though I was literally hiding there. So I called them again and demanded that they send someone to find me. Someone's still living in your toilet paper aisle.
Sir, could you please stop calling? We do not take prank calls.
This is not a prank call. I'm serious. Please, just check.
Okay.
Someone's there. But even after the second call, it took a whole 30 minutes before an employee finally came, started ruffling through the toilet paper, and found me. I do a crazier challenge here. Today, I was scrolling on Facebook Marketplace when I saw something insane. It was a McLaren supercar listed for only $4,000, which was super strange since normally they go for $200,000 or even $300,000. So obviously, I tried to buy it. But everything was weirding me out since the seller was barely responding to me and told me that I had to pay with cash only. But I agreed anyway, and he told me to meet at these specific coordinates with no other information. And even though the area was super sketchy, the car was in fact there. So I bought it, which was a crazy risk since the guy was wearing a mask the whole time. And sure enough, I didn't get scammed, and I still have the car to this day. I do something smarter here. I found a supercar, a literal McLaren supercar. Look at this thing. It's so sick. For $4,500. No joke. Obviously, there's something going on with this. We'll figure it out. Maybe the car has like a ton of issues or something, but the condition is if you know, you know. Okay, so we've just made it to the location of the car. This place looks unironically super sketchy. There's literally just a bunch of FedEx trucks.
Yeah, why are we picking up at a FedEx shipping center?
Wait, where? Right there.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, that's crazy. Wait, where is this guy? Oh, that's him.
Dude, he looks so sus.
Dude, what the heck? Well, we'll park up over here, but that guy looks so sketchy. I'm actually kind of scared. My heart's like racing. Weak. It's a steal. I don't know what's wrong with it. He said no questions, don't ask any questions, but he said it just has a bunch of issues. So, yo, Deshaun, right? This the whip right here? I got you. It's nice to see you. Yeah.
Why are you recording?
What do you mean?
Why are you recording this?
We're just like, we're trying to document the sale, just in case. So nothing I should be worried about or anything? Like,
a couple issues, but you'll run into that later.
Wait, what? Like, I'm not gonna get like in trouble for having this thing?
You're gonna be good, man. Just ride around, just ride how you want to, man. Stop asking questions.
I got you. Yeah. I'll pay it, yeah. I got it. You got it?
Yeah, just got it.
Really? That was quick. There we go. Look at that. Holy, you got the keys? Oh. Yeah, I'll see. All right, now we have to see if this thing even turns on.
Yeah.
Bro, the doors on this thing open up. Oh. Yo, this thing might be cooler than my Ferrari. No cap. All right, let's go. Tell me why my girlfriend lets me drive her Prius for 3 hours and I managed to do this. Now, this isn't even my fault, because why is there a rock in the middle of the road? I'm gonna have to sue the city or something, but she gives me it for 2 hours because my car's in the shop and this is the shit I do. God, fuck. How fast can you get fired as a Domino's pizza delivery driver? I went inside, asked for a job application, and did the interview and almost lost the job, but thankfully Cluey came in clutch and helped me cheat.
I can handle difficult situations really good.
So I came in the next day because I was hired, put the topper on my car and started delivering the pizzas, but every time I had a pizza order, I would eat a little bit of the pizza to see what they'd say. And a lot of the people were getting really mad when I delivered it, and some of them even complained, so I literally got fired the same day. How long can you stay in a shopping mall until you get kicked out? I walked in 10 minutes before the mall closed and immediately started looking for a hiding spot. And after checking out a bunch of locations, I decided on these secret tunnels behind the authorized personnel door. But just a couple minutes after hiding in there, I noticed a security guard eyeing down and I started running as fast as I could out. And this guy started chasing me. Like, there's no way you care about your job that much. But I got out because the guy couldn't keep up and everything was closed. It was completely black outside. So I started going into some of the restaurants and grabbing food from the back. But when I sat down to eat, another security guard tapped me on my shoulder and made me sign a trespass waiver, basically saying I'm never allowed to come back. I get in more trouble here.
How long can you live in a store freezer before they kick you out? I went to Home Depot and immediately went into their freezer 10 minutes before the store was about to close. And for the first few minutes, really nothing happened from the outside. People were just walking past the freezer and I was just chilling in there, relaxing. But that's when I realized we had a problem. See, every couple minutes, I would need to open the thing for fresh air. And if anyone ever saw that, I was gonna get straight cooked. But anyways, around an hour passed and I was bored. So I hit a quick W, as you can see here. That was so easy. But that's when the unthinkable happened. I went up to try and get some air and it was locked shut. I was slamming on it. I was screaming. Nothing was working. And literally banging as hard as I could. And just a few minutes later, this security guard opened it for me. And instead of being worried about me because I could have gotten hurt, he just kicked me out and banned me from ever coming back. I do something crazier here. How long can you live inside a trampoline park before getting kicked out? I walked in 5 minutes before the place closed and just started having fun and chilling. And honestly, a lot of people were looking at me and thinking I'm crazy, probably because I'm a full-grown man and everyone else was like 5 years old. And obviously, I was challenging myself to break the block blast high score without getting caught.
Let's go, bro.
But as the place closed, I started looking for a hiding spot. So I went to the kids section and started looking for a place to hide since everything over there is smaller, but I had absolutely no luck. So I kept on looking when I found the perfect spot. The only problem, I needed to cut it open with a pair of pliers, and that's exactly what I did. And I managed to get underneath the entire trampoline park. And this spot was working perfectly. And I was literally hiding here for hours. And again, I continued playing some Block Blast while I was at it. Boom. And even though security was looking for me, obviously, how are they gonna find me? And it even got to the point where I fell asleep in there, which was a big mistake because at 4 in the morning, security caught me and kicked me out of the property. So remember, play Block Blast anytime, anywhere. How fast can you get fired from working at Walmart? Since I'm banned at most locations in my area, it was really hard to even get an interview, but after getting the application and just lying, they let me do one.
What made you apply for this job?
Yeah, I'm honestly excited about this company's mission and values. Yeah, my skills and experience fit the role, yo. And thanks to Cluely, I was hired and went in immediately and started pointing customers in the wrong direction and even peeing everywhere in the bathroom. But I still wasn't fired, so I started shooting random customers with a Nerf gun, and that's when they kicked me out and told me to never come back. How fast can you get banned from the mall? Ready, set, go. We pulled the fire alarm, and as everyone started evacuating the mall, they sent out a message on the intercom saying it was a false alarm and that some YouTuber was doing it as a video. But little did they know I had a backup plan. I started grabbing people's food and throwing it in the trash, as well as yelling at random security guards. But eventually, one guy reported me for messing with him, so I hid in the secret tunnels in the mall. Quick disclaimer, for legal reasons, none of this happened, okay? And after 4 hours of hiding, I ended up never getting banned. I do a lot crazier things right here. How fast can you get banned from the mall? Ready, set, go. As soon as I pulled the fire alarm, everyone started evacuating, but they sent a message on an intercom saying it was a false alarm and that some influencer was doing it for a video. But little did they know I had a backup plan. I started grabbing people's food and just throwing it in the trash, as well as yelling at some of the police officers inside of the mall. But eventually, one guy reported me for messing with them straight to the police, so I hid in the secret tunnels in the mall for hours and hours, and this was working perfectly until I realized we were locked in. I do something even dumber right here. How fast can you get banned from Walmart? Immediately, all the alarms were going off and people were already evacuating the premises. But within minutes, the employees set out something saying it was a false alarm.
There has been a false alarm.
And pretty much all of the workers were in the store just looking for me. So I went ahead and grabbed some eggs for my own defense, and whenever a worker would get close, I just start throwing it at them. But that's when they all started ganging up on me, so I had to run out the store, and even though 2 of them were chasing me, I managed to egg them, hide in some random person's car in the parking lot since it was unlocked, and they never found me. I get away with something crazier here. How fast can you get kicked out of a trampoline park? I came in and immediately took my socks off, even though there was a rule that you had to wear socks, and I also ripped off my sticker that was also required. But to make things worse, I started cutting into the underside of one of the trampolines and hiding in there for over 3 hours. But it still seemed like literally no one cared, so I went ahead and just pulled the fire alarm and ran out. And now I'm definitely banned. I do something stupider here. How fast can you get banned from Walmart? 3, 2, 1. First, I pulled the fire alarm and pretty much everyone in the store evacuated. So of course they went on the intercom and told everyone it was a false alarm.
There has been a false alarm.
So I also decided to go on the intercom and tell everyone it was completely real. And now pretty much every single employee in the store was looking for me. So I went and grabbed as many eggs as possible and started throwing it at them. And now they were seriously pissed. So as a final act, I put on a worker's vest and started helping the employees look for myself. And they never got me. I do more right here. Here's how I accidentally made $10,000 while going to the bank yesterday. See, I got this ski mask from my local store and just decided to wear it inside because it was cold, and immediately they shut the place down. An alarm started playing and I was like, what the heck? And I was just confused. So I just went to the front, asked them for $20,000 now, and they didn't even ask me for my bank account details to get the money. They just started whipping it out and giving it to me. Like, how am I even gonna say no to that? It gets even worse here. I'm gonna hire a hitman on myself to see if I die. I paid someone on the dark web $7,000 for hitman services, and they immediately made me sign this like 35-page contract. They legit wrote that if they get caught, like, they're gonna report me. Like, what? Next, they had me drop some info, like the name of the suspect, Krishna Sahay, address, email, like that. And the next day, things got really weird. Whenever I would go out, I would notice a drone in the distance. And obviously, to a normal person, they wouldn't even notice. But because I was looking out for weird things, I knew exactly what was going on. But the next day, stuff got so scary, I actually wanted to call it quits. Someone had installed a mini camera into the hairdryer next to my bed. I don't know if you guys can see it. I booked a flight to another state the next morning because sure enough, they wouldn't follow me. I decided I was gonna record myself sleeping in case anything weird happened. And that's when it all went down.
TikToker Krishna Sahay has officially gone missing. Many of his fans believe he's in jail.
We interviewed Krishna's best friend, and he says
The last time I saw Krishna was like a week ago. If you think Krishna's this stupid, you have to subscribe.
Ever wonder why Hooters has its own airline? And what the girls wear on the flight is jaw-dropping. Created back in 2003 by Hooters' owner, the airliner seemed like a fantastic business model. The flights were enjoyable and people loved them. I wonder why. But their business actually started falling apart. Mostly due to the fact that people were scared of flying after 9/11. But that still begs the question, what are the girls wearing on the flight? Also, I've hidden the code to this Amazon gift card somewhere in this video. Good luck finding it and subscribe.
How long can you leave a Lamborghini unlocked with the keys in it till someone steals it? To test it out, I left the car in a random parking lot and started watching from a distance. And for a while, nothing really happened except for people just looking at it and admiring it. Until one guy started walking towards it and was really inspecting it, and he even noticed the key that was just in the seat. And I thought he was gonna try and take it, but that's when he just walked off. And at this point, it had been a few hours and I was gonna give up on this video until just a few minutes later, the same guy came back, but with the face mask this time, and he jumped into the car and drove off with it. Even though I tried chasing him, I couldn't catch up, and now I don't have a Lamborghini anymore, so please. How long can you leave a brand new MacBook in the mall before it gets stolen? I left it on this table and immediately left, and you could see people looking at it thinking, what the heck, why is it just sitting there? But for a whole hour, to my surprise, no one took the bait and even tried to grab it until this guy came in, quickly grabbed it and ran off, and we started chasing him, and obviously he started freaking out. But since he was kind of small, we managed to shove him into a corner, and that's when he said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to give it to the person who lost it, and he gave us the MacBook back. I test crazier things here. I'm staying in this 5-star hotel until I get kicked out. At first it sounds easy, but I don't even have a room here, so I started wandering around the stairwell and sleeping in the lobby until I got hungry, so I started taking some food as well as chugging some milk from the lobby. But since I didn't pay for any of this and the employees started noticing, I had to dash off, and I tried opening random rooms until one actually opened, and I ended up finding some goodies like some jewelry, a watch, and even a little bit of cash. But that's when I heard someone coming, so I hid under the bed and noticed 2 people walk in. But a few minutes later, they must have started celebrating or something, because I started hearing clapping from under the bed. So I waited for a few hours and realized that was not clapping and made a run for it. Even though I didn't get kicked out, I get in more trouble here.
According to Google, the most times you can cut a paper in half is 6. But I'm gonna destroy this world record. As much as this seems like an easy record to beat, because the paper exponentially gets thicker every time you have to cut the entire thing, this record is pretty difficult. But as a member of the Asian community, there's no way I'm losing this. So, it's 1, that's close enough, then we got 2, I have to get to 7, like my life depends on this. This 3, okay, oh my god, this is scary. 4,
The paper's getting so thick, like it's becoming really small. No wonder the record's 6. This is 5. Oh God, oh no. Gotta pick all that up. 6. Come on. Oh my God, we're gonna do it. One more cut, we're gonna break this record, I swear. Y'all gotta subscribe. I'm about to do it. Never mind. Still subscribe. According to Google, the most times you can fold this paper is 7. But this guy was able to do it 8 times and he probably thinks he's the king of the world. But as we all know, there's always an Asian better than you. And in this case, it's gonna be me. Because I'm gonna fold this paper 9 times. So my strategy is I'm gonna fold it like kind of like this. And then I'm gonna go from there and see what happens. All right, that's 1, 2. 1, 2 folds. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's 7. 8. And then subscribe because I just folded a paper 9 times. How long can you drive your car after it's empty on gas? Let's find out. Okay, so my car officially says it's low on fuel. We have 30 miles left, but I'm gonna keep on driving. Let's do it. Okay, so we're officially on low, which basically means the car can stop anytime, as you can see. So we're gonna set a timer and see how long we can go until we run out. So it's been 18 minutes and we're still going, but it seems like we have a check engine light right now.
Krishna, don't you think we should fill up? That's the last gas station in like 45 miles.
Nah, we'll be fine. So it's been 56 minutes. I'm gonna actually take a risk. We're gonna go on the highway. It's been an hour and 45 minutes and we've just run out of gas. Look at my foot pedal. I'm pushing it down really hard and literally nothing is happening. We're cooked. I'm gonna take it to the side. It got so bad, we literally had to get the car towed home. So watch me do crazier stuff here. How long can you drive your car after it's empty on gas? We had 20 miles left in the tank, but we kept on driving. We're officially on low, which means that the car could stop at any time, and I really don't want to be stranded.
Bro, Krishna, are you sure you don't want to stop right there? That's the last gas station in like 45 minutes.
Nah, we'll be good. But we were able to keep on driving for 40 more minutes until we decided to do something crazy. We're about to do something super smart, but at the same time, super dangerous. We're getting on the highway with literally no gasoline in our tank. Let's go and hope for the best. I'm praying, yo. And when we did, out of nowhere, the car started shaking and we were slowly coming to a stop. Yo, it stopped.
What?
Yo,
Dude,
I'm literally not serious right now? Turn on the emergency lights.
Bro, oh my God. Pull over. Oh
yo. Bro, I can't believe we ran out of gas. I'm literally pushing the accelerator and it's not working. And we had to refill the gas while being on. How long can you hide in a hospital before you get kicked out? I went to the biggest one in my city and started walking around when a nurse came up to me and asked me that I would need to leave if I'm not visiting a patient or if I'm not sick myself. But obviously I didn't care. I ran away into the elevator and went into a random exam room and hid under the hospital bed. I even watched a nurse walk into the room and walk out without noticing me. But that's when I realized I made a big mistake because while recording myself, they caught me. I do something crazier here. How long can you live in a hotel after checking out before you get caught? See, I was supposed to leave at 12, but I'm just gonna try and hide here. And for the first couple hours, literally nothing happened. I was literally chilling until out of nowhere, someone started banging on the doors and it was the cleaning lady. So I quickly hid under the bed, literally watched them clean out the entire apartment and then managed to get out without them finding me. And this was working fine for another 40 minutes until the worst thing happened. A couple had checked into the room. And although this wasn't a big deal, I noticed them start doing some weird things. But I kept on hiding under the bed till I saw them get into the shower. And then I started hearing weird noises. So I just ran out, grabbed 2 of their watches, which were worth like $20,000. And let's just say I'm never doing that again, but I do something while they're here. How long can you hide inside a store freezer before getting kicked out? I went to my local Lowe's and immediately went inside the freezer right when the store was closing. And for the first few minutes, everything went smooth and nobody noticed. But that's when I realized I had a really big problem because every few minutes I needed to open it up to actually get air. And if anyone saw me doing that, I was gonna get cooked. And now around an hour goes by and that's when something horrible happened. I go up for air again and I realize I've locked myself inside this freezer. I start banging on everything, calling 911 until an employee found me. I was just checking if a person could fit inside. sign before I buy it. Told the manager, walked me out, and banned me from the store. I do something riskier here. How long can you hide in a foam pit before they kick you out? I went to my local trampoline park and waited for all the single moms and employees to look away, and then immediately dove in and started hiding. And it was working because for hours and hours, I was literally just chilling there. And I even had my friend throw some extra foam on me to keep me even more hidden. And it was working so well, I literally fell asleep in there and managed to stay for an extra 9 hours. And by the time I woke up, there were kids absolutely everywhere. It gets way dumber here. How long can you stay in an Airbnb after you're supposed to check out? See, I was supposed to leave this place an hour ago, but I just decided to stay, and quickly the cleaner started knocking on the door, came in, and so I ran under the bed, started hiding, and watched them vacuum the whole place as well as pick up the trash. But once they left, I got out from the bed and started looking for other hiding spots, and honestly, I found some pretty good ones. But before I could even pick one, the next guest was already walking in, so I had to run back under the bed, and this time they were pretty weird. They went on the bed and started shaking it aggressively as well as making weird noises, and they even threw their clothes onto the ground. But after a little bit, they went to the shower, and that's when I had to make a run out of there. I do something crazier right here. How long can you live in a hotel after checking out before you actually get caught? See, I was supposed to leave at 12, but I'm going to try and hide here as long as possible. And for the first couple hours, it was getting really spooky by myself. So I just sat there playing some block blast, and I was getting some insane combos when out of nowhere, I started hearing banging at the door, and it was really horrifying. So while I was waiting for the noise to stop, I kept trying to beat my high score to calm me down, and it was looking good until I noticed it was just a cleaning person. So I quickly hid underneath the bed, literally watched them clean out the entire place. And of course, the whole time I was on block blast. It literally never gets old. It's so fun. And then I managed to get out without them finding me, and it was working for another 40 minutes until the worst thing happened. A couple checked into the room and went straight into the shower, and I could just sense them doing some really haunted rituals, or at least that's what I thought it was. It sounded like clapping. So I just ran out, took both of their watches, which were like worth 20K, and almost beat my high score on my way out, which was absolutely insane. And let's just say I'm never doing that again. But make sure you play Block Blast today. How long can you hide in a hotel after you were supposed to check out? When it was time to hand in the keys for the room, instead of doing that, I just relaxed and kept on using it. But that's when I heard a noise at the door, so I ran and hid in the closet, and I noticed a cleaner coming in, wiping down everything and throwing out the trash. But eventually they left, and I had the whole place back to myself. At least that's what I thought, because just 20 minutes later, a couple walked into the room and went inside the bathroom. And so I went out of the closet, looked at their wallets, and took some cash out of them. But when I heard them coming out, I had to quickly hide under the bed, and that's when I witnessed the worst thing ever. They got on the bed and started making really weird noises, and since they didn't leave till the next morning, I had to sleep under the bed all night. I do something way dumber here. How long can you hide in the McDonald's play place? I went in there and there were a bunch of little kids, which made me feel really weird because I'm low-key a grown-ass man, and it looked super weird to other people, and workers were eyeing me down thinking I was absolutely crazy. But of course, after a few hours of hiding there, I got hungry, grabbed some food, started eating up there. But that's when it started getting dark outside, as it was 10 p.m. and the store was about to close. At least that's what I thought, because a worker finally came up, but when he came there, he just told me that we're open 24/7, but you look like a weird.
What's going on? We're open 24 hours, bro. You're weird.
I do something dumber here. How long can you hide in the stuffed animals at Walmart? As soon as I went in the store, I found the spot and started hiding. For a while, literally nobody knew I was in there, and people and workers were walking by, and it was honestly really funny. And minutes turned into hours, and it seemed like nobody cared until eventually one employee came to restock some of the things, and when he moved the thing out and saw me, he started freaking out. He ended up calling his boss and getting me kicked out. But don't worry, I do worse here. I'm gonna make a GoFundMe to buy a Lamborghini to see if anyone actually donates. And spoiler alert, even Mr. Beast gave me money. The first thing that I did was live stream to my TikTok to see how much attention I could get by making my friend lick a... Yeah. After he did this, we had over 350,000 viewers on our live stream. I started telling all my viewers that I'd be giving away a Lamborghini. And if y'all donate, we're gonna give it away to one of y'all. Obviously, I was just gonna keep it to myself. Like, I know Mr. Beast, bruh. But even though we had one of the biggest TikTok live streams, we only made like $50,000. I was pissed. So I needed to contact the ultimate Lamborghini giveawayer.
What do you want, Krishna?
Bro, okay. I literally just want 2 mil. Just 2 mil. 100K.
You know what?
At this point, we reached 150K out of the 250K we needed for the Lamborghini. And because of the Mr. Beast donation, hundreds of people were now offering to give me money. But that's when everything went downhill. And that's when I woke up. Thank goodness it was just a nightmare. If you think I should be in jail anyways, subscribe.
What happens if you get stuck in a washing machine? The question seems so stupid, but over 1,000 people each year actually get stuck in washing machines. And you won't believe how they end up after the washing cycle. So at first, the washing machine will start spinning slowly. You'll be stuck there not knowing how to get out, and chances are you'll be slamming the door with your feet. If it doesn't work, the machine will start spinning faster. 15 minutes into the faster cycle, you'll pass out. But it'll still take another 30 minutes for you to completely die, according to Reddit. But if you wish your stepsister was stuck in a washing machine, subscribe. Look closely, what do you see? It looks like a square indented into the ground, but it's actually hiding a darker secret. See, many believe that these are ancient Egyptian pyramids that have been excavated from the ground. But there's one problem. It's too expensive to actually find out whether they are or not. So this remains a mystery. If you can figure out how I get this cap into this water bottle, I'll give you $5. So 3, 2, 1. Real quick before I do it, if you want the $5, you need to follow me and DM me on Insta explaining how I did it. Now here we go. 1, 2, subscribe.
This guy is a genius. Although he looks like he's robbing a bank's vault, he's actually just a distraction. Earlier this morning, the infamous influencer Krishna Sahay was hired by cyber hackers to distract staff members in a robbery. This led all the faculty to leave the bank, allowing for someone to put a USB in the staff's computers, stealing over $7.4 million in client funds.
How long can you hide in the toilet paper aisle at Walmart before getting caught? I went inside and started hiding, but I had to be super quiet because I could see workers and people crossing over and over again. Luckily though, I was going unnoticed, and for 3 to 4 hours, I was just chilling there living my life until I heard a noise. And that's when I saw a worker restocking the shelves nearby. So I started trying to hide, but eventually they all busted. I do something more dangerous here. I'm living in this airport till I get kicked out. I arrived there in the day, and for the first 8 hours, I did nothing but just walk around, go shopping, and just basically chilled. But when night came and the stores started closing is when things got interesting. I managed to sneak into a closed store and hide on the ground, and literally nobody knew I was in there. And at one point, I even fell asleep on the floor. But once the store started closing, everything changed because I started going in some of them and just taking stuff, and then also managed to sneak into another one right before fully closed, and I was stuck inside with the gates down, and people were looking at me pretty weird. But I ended up falling asleep on the floor for over an hour long until out of nowhere one of the workers woke me up and told me I can't come back to the airport for 2 whole days. I do something more intense here. How long can you live in a hotel without paying for a room? I started by going to the top floor, but the elevator took forever, so I just started playing some Block Blast. But once I got to the top, I started ding dong ditching random rooms and even played around in the luggage cart for a little bit. But after a few hours of waiting, it was time to get some rest. So I went down to the hotel lobby and just started sleeping when some security guard wakes me up and tells me I need to go back to my room or leave if I'm not there. So I went back up to the room, and while I was thinking of the next thing to do, I was just playing some Block Blast, getting these combos. I mean, look at how good I am at this game. But eventually I needed a place to sleep, so I started trying to open random doors in the hotel until one of them finally opened, and we were in a hotel room. But just 30 minutes later, 4 police officers kicked me out while I was playing Block Blast. Try Block Blast today. How long can you live in a hotel lobby for free? See, most people pay for a room and just enjoy the hotel, but I wanted to see if I could stay here till 8 in the morning just in the lobby. I walked in, and to not look suspicious, I went up the elevators, but quickly hotel staff noticed me and immediately started taking photos. But I ignored it, went downstairs, and started stealing food from their snack bar. But then I needed to get some work done, so I used one of their computers. That's when I got super tired, so I decided to start sleeping on a couch that was kind of hidden away from the employees, and I was sleeping super good until out of nowhere the same manager that took a photo of me earlier started bugging me and told me I needed to leave. So I ran in the woman's bathroom, and now I have a restraining order. How long can you live in a hotel before you get kicked out? As soon as I walked in, we immediately ran to the elevators, but quickly realized if we wanted to go anywhere we needed a key card. So I hunted in the trash can, managed to find one, and immediately went to the next floor. And that's where we saw a bunch of people having a party, so I knew I had to make a run for it or I was getting caught. And we found this dark room, which literally looked like they were holding hostages in it because there was literally just a few chairs and that was it. So I went ahead, started sleeping over there for a little bit, but in the middle of the night I needed to go pee. So I went over to the bathroom, started using the toilet, and even playing on my phone, and as you could tell, I was winning like crazy. But that's when a crazy thing happened. One of the workers walked in, took the stall next to me, and was making a bunch of noise, and I knew I had to be super quiet. But sure enough,
after he left, so I ran out the place, and that's when they caught me. So I ran into the woman's bathroom to hide. How long can you live in a mall before getting kicked out? As soon as 9 p.m. hit, everyone started leaving, but I snuck in and hid in the bathroom until everybody was gone and the place was completely empty. And honestly, I was having a ton of fun just running around the place, but I also brought a Nerf gun with me, so I just started shooting this random security guard and hiding, and bro literally had no idea I was there. But eventually he left, so I started sleeping on the floor of a random hallway in the mall until my friend woke me up because the security guard started getting really close. So we ran into a random area that was for only authorized personnel, and it literally looked like a murder scene had happened. It smelled so bad. But a few minutes later, we realized we had a bigger problem because we were locked in there. So I started screaming for help at the top of my lungs, and security came by and called the cops and arrested me. I do something even dumber here. Can you sleep overnight in a mattress store? To test it out, I went to one of the biggest furniture stores in the entire country, went to the mattress section, and immediately found a bed and went under it. And now I was going completely unnoticed for a couple hours until I noticed this security guard walking around. So obviously I had to keep it on the down low, but I started getting tired and managed to fall asleep underneath the bed. And voila, 8 hours later, I was awake, and at this point, the security guard caught me, but I thought I was just getting kicked out. Little did I know, they thought I actually died underneath that bed, and they had a whole ambulance take me out and bring me to the hospital. I do something dumber here. How long can you live in an airport? For the first couple hours, I was just walking around stealing from vending machines since I had literally no food, and I even slept on the conveyor belt for a little bit. But that's when I started to notice some of the workers and staff were eyeing me down. So to completely distract them, I pulled the fire alarm, let it start beeping, ran away up to a hotel that's connected to the airport. I started having lunch there, but then 3 police officers walked into the restaurant. They came up to me, showed me a YouTube video of me pulling the fire alarm, and said they know for a fact I did it, and like an idiot I confessed, and now I'm wearing orange clothes for the next week. I get in more trouble here. How long can you live inside a trampoline park before getting kicked out? I walked in right before the place closed and just started having fun, and honestly everyone thought I was crazy because I look like a full-grown man. But when it was 5 minutes before close, I started looking for a hiding spot, so I went behind this area that said do not enter and got a little far until an employee started yelling and saying get out of there. So I went back down, and literally seconds before they were about to kick us out, I was able to cut through this protective barrier and hide underneath the entire trampoline park. And even though it was obvious some of the workers were looking around for me, they weren't able to find me, so I stayed there for over 5 hours before finally walking out at 3 in the morning. But no one ever caught me, so I do something crazier here. How fast can you get banned from Costco? 3, 2, 1. As soon as I pulled it, everyone started evacuating and the alarms were going off like crazy. But obviously I didn't want to get caught, so I hid behind a ton of items inside of a shelf. And even though it was working, security and other workers were still on the lookout for me. But as hours and hours passed, it eventually became nighttime. And so I got out of my hiding spot and realized the entire place was empty. So I started stealing the leftover samples at the free sample stands, as well as found this awesome place to sleep. And this new spot worked until the next morning when I hopped out and quickly realized police and workers were coming inside trying to find me. So I hit a little speaker in the middle of the store and started blasting brain rot audios. And then just walked out thinking the coast was clear, but that's when they grabbed me and banned me. I do something more ridiculous here. Do drive-thrus treat you better if you drive a nicer car? To test it out, I went in the worst car I could possibly find, and immediately the employees did not look happy to see me, and they started taking my order, but it didn't seem like they were listening, and it took forever. I was literally waiting for my order for over 30 minutes, and when they finally brought it out, they spilled the drink all over me and didn't even give me napkins.
Yo, what the heck, man? You got any napkins?
We just ran out.
But now let's see if the nicer car makes a difference. So I rolled up in the Lambo and the employees started freaking out. And they took my order super fast. And when it was time to grab my food, they literally brought the manager out to hand it to me personally. And he even said this.
Thank you for eating a Chick-fil-A.
Of course, I love this Chick-fil-A.
Need more chicken.
We will. Thank you.
But it got even better because that's when I got this note from the girl that took my order. Does the emergency SOS on your iPhone actually work? To test it out, I drove 20 miles up a mountain before doing another mile-long hike to reach the highest point in all of California. And then I pressed the emergency SOS button and waited. And for the first few hours, everything was fine. I was just chilling and walking around. But by the time 9 hours had passed, it started getting super exhausting, and I was literally yelling for help. Help! Help! But by the time 14 hours passed, I thought I was completely cooked and I was losing all hope and getting super thirsty. But that's when out of nowhere, a search helicopter came in the distance and finally saved us. I do even riskier stuff here.
If you can solve this murder mystery, consider joining the CIA. A young woman is attending a mother's funeral. While there, she meets a man she's never seen before and immediately falls in love. After the funeral, she tries to find him, but just can't. Several days later, she kills her sister. Why does she kill her sister? The answer will amaze you. Hit the plus if you found this interesting, cause
how fast can you get banned from a hotel? Ready, set. No! Immediately, all the alarms started going off and everyone was evacuating, and I knew I had to get out of there before they caught me. So I went and tried to use the elevators, but those weren't working. So I ran down the stairs and started hiding. And you could see other people that were staying at the hotel running down, and some of them were trying to even get me to leave, being like, yo, get out of there, there's a fire. But eventually, on the alarms, they started saying that it was a false alarm and that there was no fire.
There has been a false alarm.
And I knew that I was going to be absolutely cooked. So to make sure it wasn't a false alarm, I grabbed some gasoline and a couple lighters, threw it in the washing machine, and within seconds, half the building was on fire. And now everyone thinks I'm a hero for pulling the alarm. I try something crazier here. How fast can you get banned from DoorDash? I made a new account and immediately started getting to work. And for the first order, the guy just wanted some chicken sandwiches and some fries. So I just made sure to eat the fries and lick the burger and then delivered the order. But nothing happened and it seemed like no one even noticed or cared. So for the next order, which ended up being a really big one because I tracked it with CalAI and this was a ton of calories, I decided to put a bunch of dead flies into the burger and deliver the order like that. And sure enough, 20 minutes later, it worked because they permanently banned me from doing DoorDash ever again. How fast can you get banned from Target? Ready, set. No, not again. After pulling the fire alarm, pretty much everyone in the store evacuated. And of course, they went on the intercom and tried telling everyone it's a false alarm and to come back to the store. So I went ahead, snuck into the employees only bathroom, managed to find one changing, and quickly grabbed his Target walkie-talkie and told everybody that they need to leave. It's really bad. No, the alarm is real. The alarm is real. Evacuate immediately. And now at this point, every single employee in the entire store was looking for me since I basically told everyone there's a fire. So I went ahead, put on a red shirt, and started trying to help the employees look for me as well. And they never caught me. I tried dumber pranks here. How long can you live in an airplane before getting caught? As soon as the flight ended, I immediately rushed into the bathroom and started hiding in there. And workers started knocking on the door, asking if anyone was in there. And I just stayed quiet. And surely the knocking went away. And when I came out, the entire plane was empty except for just me. I started hiding under the seats while the cleaning people went and cleaned the plane. And I even sat in the cockpit for a little bit and stole some snacks from the front. Don't tell anyone I did that. And eventually the new group for another flight started boarding the plane. So I just pretended to just walk around the place and eventually found one empty seat, just sat down, and we were flying to another country. I try something crazier here. How long can you live in a McDonald's before they kick you out? I walked in 15 minutes before it closed and immediately ordered something to not look suspicious. But once the food came out, I started eating and then immediately ran in the bathroom since this was my first hiding spot. But we quickly realized it wasn't a good idea since people kept on knocking and trying to get into the stall. But that's when a janitor confronted us and told us that it was closing soon and we needed to leave. But of course, I wasn't taking an L. I ran into the play place, set up a pillow and a blanket, and started sleeping. And this was working for a while since they were so busy taking other people's nighttime drive-through orders until one guy started snitching and had the employee come kick us out. I did something way dumber right here. How long can you live in an amusement park before getting kicked out? As soon as 7 p.m. hit, everyone started leaving and the park closed, but I hid in one of the ride carts for 30 minutes and the park was completely empty. I started having loads of fun by stealing prizes and even taking food from some of the food stands. That's when I noticed late night security and workers looking at me from a distance. So I started running around the empty park and eventually found a bench in the corner to sleep on for a few hours. But that's when we started
started hearing sirens and an announcement that said we're trespassing.
You are trespassing.
We started running and running, but just 3 minutes later, a security guard came up to us and kicked us out at 2 in the morning. We get arrested right here. How long can you live in a Chick-fil-A before they kick you out? I walked in literally 30 minutes before they closed and started ordering food to not look suspicious. But as soon as I got it, they were already trying to get me to leave. So I went straight in the bathroom to start hiding for the night. But just after a few minutes, I made a huge mistake because I accidentally dropped the entire chicken sandwich into the toilet. And I knew that if anyone saw this, I was gonna be in big trouble. So I quickly ran out of the bathroom into the Chick-fil-A play place with a pillow and blanket and started setting up for the night. And to my surprise, no one even noticed me go in there and no one was even looking at me. And I accidentally fell asleep for literally 12 hours and woke up at 2 in the morning. Now I'm stuck in Chick-fil-A, but I do something crazier here. How long can you live in Chuck E. Cheese before you get kicked out? I walked in an hour before closing, and to look normal, I just started playing some of their games. And I even met Chucky, and he challenged me to a quick basketball game. But then I started getting hungry and the kitchen was about to close. But since I didn't have any money, instead of paying for food like a normal person, I just took someone else's order when the number was called. And at this point, everyone was leaving and I was getting really tired. But fortunately, there was a trampoline that was super comfy and the workers didn't notice I was there to the point where the entire place closed and I was the only one left. And I was sleeping just sound until it turned 3 a.m. and that's when I heard a noise and turned into evil Chucky. I tried dumber challenges here. How long can you live in Costco before they kick you out? I walked in an hour before they closed and immediately started looking for hiding spots when I decided on this random section in the store and started moving items and hiding behind them. And for a while, this was actually working really well until a bunch of normal people started noticing me and a security guard started walking by, and that's when I realized I had to make a move. So I ran around until I found this new spot, which was literally a shed inside of the store, and this was amazing. I literally stayed here for hours and hours, and literally nobody knew I was there. And I even accidentally fell asleep at one point, which was a huge mistake because when I woke up, I tried getting out of there and realized we were locked in. But after a ton of banging, a security guard opened it for us and kicked us out. I do something crazier here. How long can you live in Costco before they kick you out? I walked in an hour before close and immediately started looking for hiding spots when I decided on this hole behind the couch in the furniture section. And for a while, this was working really well until normal people started noticing me back there and even security kept on walking by, so I knew I had to make a move. So I found a random section in the store, started moving some of the things out of the shelves and hiding behind it, and this was amazing. I literally stayed here for hours and hours and no one could even see me, and I even accidentally fell asleep, which was a huge mistake because by the time I woke up and walked out, the store was empty and it was 2 in the morning. I do something way dumber here. How long can you live in IKEA without getting kicked out? Once the store closed, literally everyone left except for me, and I found this insane hiding spot and stayed there for over 1 hour before finally leaving. But that's when I realized I wasn't alone. There were actually 2 security guards still inside of IKEA for the night shift, so I started saying random things on the intercom. Everybody get the out of here. And whenever they'd come to check to see if anyone was messing with it, I'd literally hide under the bed. I repeated this for over an hour until they made an announcement literally saying that I need to stop or they're trespassing me from every IKEA.
We're trespassing on this property.
But of course, silly me went for one more round, and that's when they got me
out. Come on.
And banned me from the store. I get arrested right here. How long can you live in a mall before getting kicked out? As soon as 9 p.m. hit, everyone started leaving, but I hid in the bathroom till the lights went off, and then I came out, and honestly, I was having a ton of fun. I brought a Nerf gun with me, so I started shooting this random security guard and hiding, and bro literally had no idea I was there.
Krishna, you're crazy.
But eventually he left, so I started sleeping on the massage chairs and getting some rest until the middle of the night came and my friend woke me up because a security guard started coming towards us. So we saw this one party room and tried to hide in it and realized this was not a party room. In fact, this looked like the place where people get murdered. But that's when I had a bigger problem because we were locked inside and I started yelling for help. Help! 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 And eventually a security guard called the cops and I got arrested. Watch more right here. I'm gonna use the emergency SOS on my iPhone to see if anyone comes and saves me. First, I stranded myself hundreds of miles away from civilization on a small island in the Philippines. And then I made the call for help. I told them my boat sank and I swam to an island and I had no clue where I was. I thought they were gonna come get me in a few hours, but I was wrong. Hours passed and I was actually losing my fucking
Krishna, you idiot.
Into a cave for some shelter, and after 12 hours, it was getting a lot darker now. This was one of the moments where I thought I might actually die from one of these stupid YouTube challenges. I couldn't sleep, but the next day things were getting a lot better. I still thought I was a dead man, but the rescue operation was all over the news.
Nawala ang tiyatoker Krishna Sahay sa isla sa Pilipinas.
Filipino and American government spending millions of dollars on high-tech helicopter search operation.
Our Navy will find Krishna. And if this is any type of joke by him, we will imprison him.
And sure enough, 23 hours into the challenge, a helicopter and a boat came to save us. But we risked our lives and got hella sunburned, so you have to subscribe. So the other day, I stayed at a hotel while I was on vacation, and usually the next morning, you're supposed to return the little key cards and give it back to them, but I forgot to hand them in, and 2 days later, realized I still had them. So in the middle of the night at 2 in the morning, I went back to the hotel to test if they would work, and we were able to get into the hotel from a secret entrance, go back up, find the room that we stayed at, and by an absolute miracle, we were able to get inside again. And even though someone was sleeping, we were able to take $100 from their wallet that we left out, as well as their car keys, and then we went to the parking lot, tried finding his car, took it on a little joyride, and then parked it back like absolutely nothing happened. I do something even dumber here.